by far the most popular person in the film industry. Everyone, and I mean everyone who matters, loves him. I have known him for over 20 years now, and yet he manages to surprise me each time with his generosity, wit, and razor-sharp insight. Producer, director, writer, Karan Johar wears many hats, and as a chat show host, he puts everyone in a spot. But today, it's his turn to be in the hot seat. So this must be, I think, one of the 10 crazy moments of my life. I never thought I'd ever be interviewing you, that too on camera.
Well, this is the top 5 crazy things of my life then. Being interviewed by a close friend.
Yeah,
it always feels a bit strange.
It is very strange.
Because it takes the first 5 minutes to deconstruct the awkwardness and then move into what...
You should know, you've been doing it for quite a while now.
Mine is a flighty, frivolous show, Niranjan. And no part of you is flighty or frivolous.
Tell me, Karan, what does it feel to be the most popular person in the film industry? And when I say that, I don't say it lightly, because I've seen you at close quarters and I've seen your interaction with so many people in the film business. And I have yet to come across one person who has cut across all boundaries, all stratas, and is friendly to so many people.
What does it feel today? If I had answered your question a decade ago, I would have felt differently. Today I feel burdened. Today I feel burdened by the expectation to be that person that you described me to be. This was the first time in many years I didn't respond to every person who texts me on my birthday. And that is very out of character for me. So right now, if you ask me what it feels like, I think initially it was me trying to be Miss Congeniality. I think it's the only child syndrome. You want to kind of accumulate a lot of love around you that possibly your family doesn't offer. Over the years, that became like a part of my personality. And finally today, I feel exhausted. Like I feel like I don't want to be so nice anymore. I don't want to pick up the phone on anyone. I don't want to be there for everyone. But because I'm Gemini, and you get 2 for the price of 1, I'm constantly tussling 2 parts of me. One part of me who wants to stick to exactly who I have been, and one part of me who wants to create a new me and set that as a standard for the next decade.
Yeah, and is there any idea that what you want the new you to be like?
A little more real. I think I've spent more than a decade being someone else at times. If I feel like I need to snap, I want to snap. If I feel like I need to pick up the phone and tell somebody that they've behaved wrongly, incorrectly, badly, insensitively, which I don't do, I need to change and deconstruct who I am. Like, it's not a single day or a moment that I haven't analyzed why I need to change. And I think the day I turned 40, something within me changed. They say, like life starts at 40, 40s are the new 30s. It's a whole lot of bullshit. It's the half point of your life. That's the big realization, that you know that at best you have another 40 to go. That just makes you feel that you have just that much time to do so much. And pretending to be someone should not be on your agenda. I have lied through my teeth at times, fake praise, brushing an issue under the carpet, sometimes acknowledging somebody's brilliance but actually feeling quite envious of it, but not projecting envy but trying to project a large-heartedness or magnanimity. A lot of projection has definitely been a part of my personality. I'm somebody who will go out there and praise everybody. But I've realized at time that no one praises you back. I have stood there, praised filmmakers, actors, and then stood silently for them to say one thing nice that they might find in my filmography. And invariably, I'm kind of surprised and shocked at times that they don't say a thing back. So I realized that the level of self-elevation and self-importance in this industry is at an all-time high always. I had a very big filmmaker once who was upset with me because I hadn't picked up the phone and told him that I hadn't liked 2 or 3 of his movies, which I hadn't. They were terrible movies. But I told him, and I said, with all due respect, you've never called me in your entire life to tell me one thing about my movie, but you still expected me to pick up the phone and praise every film you've ever made. That is the general ethos of this industry.
But does this need to be generous, to be magnanimous, to praise other people come out of your need to be loved?
Yes. Initially it was like, I'll praise them and they'll love me and they will think I'm a great human being.
And it worked for a while.
Yeah, I did, but I don't need that sense of validation anymore.
And did success make a difference in this feeling?
To me, when you use the word success at one decade of my life, the 20s and even in my 30s, it was like the be-all and end-all of my existence. Nothing else mattered. Not quality, not integrity, really not even creative thought. It was just the final result, box office. I mean, you've been there when I thought my film was going to fail.
I know, Kabhi
and
Khushi.
when Kabhi Khushi, when I read a trade analyst review and he said your film is on its way to being a disaster. And distributors will be unhappy and your producer will lose and entail heavy losses. The first person who called me was you and I was weeping on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's I think one of the 2 times that I've seen you cry.
And I was weeping because for me, I forgot that I had made a quality film. I just said if it fails, it's a bad film. And that is something that I don't want to feel anymore. And I realized then how stupid and immature things can be and things can get to in this industry.
So one of the most amazing things about you, and I've asked you this several times, is that you don't read, you don't listen to music, you're not particularly fond of world cinema. I've never seen you discuss a film. You never discuss any director's work internationally or nationally. So where do ideas come? How do you nurture yourself?
It's so wonderful that you made me sound like Paris Hilton in one sweeping statement right now. To the world now knows that I'm this ditzy, dumb Barbie doll that just got lucky and has destiny and lineage
No,
to thank.
I'm actually curious to know what is it that makes you tick as a filmmaker?
I don't. I could sound cerebral with that answer, which I refuse to, because I'll get caught with you. What do I say? I think I'm a keen observer. And I think I watch life very carefully. And I think somehow my understanding of the human behavior walks its way into writing. Plus my obsession for Hindi cinema. But there is a reserve that runs out, right? So then you have to tap into nurturing, which I need to do, but I can't bring myself to read a book. I'm too restless. I can't bring myself to constantly watch movies. Again, my mind wanders. Travel and getting out of the city is my biggest therapy. Like when I travel and walk the city and watch strangers operate, and I sit at coffee shops and stare at people, and I think that has been my biggest nurturing.
So how does the story change then?
It may not. Might be I'll be a limited filmmaker that will have run dry.
And that doesn't frighten you?
No, nothing frightens me anymore, Niranjan, not even death. Very honestly.
Wow, death shouldn't frighten you
No,
at all.
Losing a loved one does, but not my own. Nothing really frightens me. I'm not afraid. Fear is not something that I have. I used to fear failure. That too, I think, as I said, that's also diminished with years. I'm not afraid. In fact, the only thing I think that gets me worried is dying alone, aging alone, not having like family to lean on when I'm possibly physically invalid, which will happen to all of us. That's my biggest fear in life, is loneliness.
And what do you do when you feel lonely?
Nothing. Go on to the next film or force yourself into a conversation or distract yourself into work again. What do you do? I am not indulgent by nature at all. I will not indulge my depression or my sense of loneliness because it's not proactive and productive. To me, I think festering in your emptiness and loneliness is a humongous waste of time, which I refuse to do. And if I've lost myself in that, so be it.
So how do you plan to combat it? Because obviously, I mean,
I thought about getting a dog or a child. Those are my 2 options. Not in that order necessarily. It sounds retarded, but it's true. I've given these 2 things.
Yes, you've been discussing it for a while, and we've been trying to discourage you.
You've been trying to discourage me from a child, and a dog no one is somehow encouraging me either with. So those are my 2 options, dog and a child.
But do you really think that's going to help you, Karan? I mean, how do you deal with loneliness?
It will. I think that, not that I'm equating the 2, but I think what I need is an extension of myself to invest in, which is not professional. I think that's what I need because I don't have a relationship. I'm not falling in love. No one's falling in love with me. Or I'm not finding the right person to settle down with or get into a long-term relationship with. In the absence of that, the next best thing is your own genetic pool. So that's where I got the idea of having a child. All else fails and that doesn't work out, then there's always a dog to lean on.
You just said that, nobody's falling in love with you or you're not falling in love with anybody. But I wanted to ask you, have you applied yourself with the same amount of intensity that you have applied to your career to that area of life?
I have done everything. I want to more than I can. What is the human endeavor? I have done. They say, go out, put yourself out. Go where? I want to where? Put yourself out where? I'm not a prostitute. I mean, I can't be walking around like paying people for love and sex. At the end of the day, it's an organic process. Either it happens or it doesn't. Either you meet somebody, you strike a conversation, have a communication that goes into an emotion, that flows into a relationship. It's a process. process. And trust me, I have put myself out there in the best way possible that my human nature allows me to. It's not happening, Niranjan. I have done everything. I've traveled. They say travel. The proverbial
like
they.
Your dad used to always say, "Ye they hai
Ye
kaun?"
kaun hai ye they? Who are these they who say they travel? You'll meet somebody. I waited in lounges and aircrafts that somebody like completely that'll blow my mind away, if not anything else, will walk in. It doesn't happen. Nobody walks into my life in the way I want them to, and then it doesn't translate into relationship. I'm 42 years old, and the God's honest truth is I've had 1 6-month relationship. That's it. Where I could say that, oh, like I'm in a relationship, I'm dating someone. That too, I think I enjoyed the idea of saying it more than I was with my heart in it.
There was long distance.
Yeah,
also.
there was long distance. One solid relationship and nothing else. A lot of unrequited love. That happens to me a lot. That I remember somebody said, oh, you capture heartbreak in your first film so well. I'm like, I've been there, I'm doing that. I think heartbreak is like is the one emotion that I have mastered now. So therefore, that I can put very solidly on cellular.
I think that also fuels a lot of your movies and your
heartbreak. I'm all, and I'm such a drama queen that I feed off that heartbreak also. Because actually, heartbreak has an expiry date. Like any illness,
it does, yes.
you get over it. But I don't want to get over it because I'm so enjoying that zone of self-pity at times that it's enhancing my personality to me. Like I'm loving this, like hearing, and I'm dramatic even in heartbreak. Like I'll listen to my favorite R.D. Burman song, or I'll sing looking outside of the window like there's a camera approaching me. I think I live vicariously through the movies I've made.
But I also feel that you hide a lot of yourself in humor. There's a great amount of humor that you use as a shield
because
to
I'm
actually hide your true feelings. And
because if I really expose myself, I'll come across like a manic depressant. I don't want to.
And what's wrong with that if you are?
I don't. That's you, Niranjan, not me. You are a manic
There's
depressant.
no such thing.
Yeah.
I just
and
feel
you are a
whatever
serial
you
depressant. If you had your way, you'd be like in the jungles or in the Himalayas and giving yourself, your soul and spirit to nature. I'm not that person. I'm a concrete jungle man. I need to face the city with a certain gay abandon, pun not intended, and I need to do it in complete spirit. I cannot be this. If I really drop my guard at my heart level, I'm a really dark, depressed and unhappy person, which I don't want to feel. So then I cover it all with a lot of flair and flamboyance
and humor mostly.
Humor is a great way of getting out of any situation. You crack a line, like Manish always tells me, which is who three of us are such a tight unit. He always says, he says, you and your one-liners, you know, when will they stop?
He calls one-liners.
So I'm like, yeah, but then I lean on them, I need them.
But are you feeling now that you're expressing yourself more strongly to people who are close to you especially, and the reliance on one-liners is reducing?
You're asking me all these questions, so I'm trying to think of things, but I haven't really thought of it.
That's the reason
I don't
I'm asking
know.
you this
I don't know if it's reducing, but I think that my one-liners are not reducing, but I think my sense of abandon has increased. Like I've let go of a lot. Like I think I've become easier. I've become a lot more, I would say, indifferent to things that I was giving too much importance to. Some people, I've let go. I've let them go out of my life. I feel like I've cleaned the clutter. I'm in a halfway zone there. Like I feel like my good feng shui phase has started now because I've cleaned a lot of my clutter. And unfortunately, a lot of those are people. I'll tell you one thing which I'll say with a great amount of confidence and assurance. I solidly believe that if you lose me in your life, it's your loss. Because I'm all about the people I know. I'm all about the relationships I build. So all the people who have forced me to let go of them, I believe it's their loss. And that's the only thing I will say with arrogance. I will never speak about my career or my personal space or my professional ethos. But the one thing I can say with arrogance, you lose me, you've lost a huge amount of something concrete in your life.
There have been a lot of rumors about your changing relationship and equation with Shah Rukh, who's been a pillar throughout your career, and you've shared a very, very great relationship with him.
I feel very exhausted about constantly justifying what I feel for him or what he feels for me. And I think the world has made this relationship go through too much turbulence. If it was left to just him and me, we would always be the force we were to reckon with. Unfortunately, other forces have come in and tried to dilute the impact of our force. And it's made sometimes things a bit awkward and uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, if he calls me today and asks me to drop my life and career for him, I would do it without a beep, without a thought. If he asked me to be there for him unconditionally for 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, I would do that unconditionally. And I think he would do the same for me. When I spoke about broken relationships, there are others that I've let go of. That I am happy I've let go of, but not Shah Rukh. He was somebody I will never let go of, and I will own emotionally for the rest of my life.
These people that you just mentioned who have actually caused a lot of turbulence is mostly, I mean, the media.
You'd be surprised there are close people who are not the media that can cause this rift and make it further. There are people who claim to be your friends, and I believe that with a lot of assurance, that there are sometimes people closest to you can be the most dangerous. They can destroy things much more because there is some kind of a psychotic sense of happiness that people get in other people's distress, and I don't get it, I don't understand it, but when I talked about people creating the rift, I'm talking about inner circle friends.
You're quite non-confrontational by nature, and I've seen that for many years in you, but the only time you actually got confrontational was with two filmmakers. One is Anurag Kashyap and one is Ram Gopal Varma.
Look, with Ram Gopal Varma, it's like such a last season problem that, you know, he's something that I don't even, bichara, I mean, I don't want to talk about him anymore. With Anurag, it was a similar thing. He was angsty, and he felt Adi and I were like the poster boys of bubblegum, and he was like the poster boy of depression, and there was a kind of a cultural function we had both attended where I was the only one who was sticking out like a sore thumb because all of Aram Nagar or wherever like those angsty people live in, you know, who make those kind of angsty, depressing, dark, devastated cinema were all in that room. So it was like Prada walked into Fab India, and everybody would turn around, gave that dramatic look like what is he doing here? He makes shit films and we make path-breaking cinema. And Anurag, being the poster child of that movement, came right in front of me and he's like, oh, you're here. And I was like, yeah. He's saying, what should we do? Should we talk? So I was like, no, at a juncture like this, we should hug. So we hugged each other, and I was like, you know, it doesn't matter what you think of me. I think Black Friday was a great film. That was it. We met after that. We worked on a film. Today, he's directed me in a full-fledged film.
But there's also another filmmaker in your genre with whom you've had a sort of a love-hate relationship, which is Sanjay Bansali.
I have an indifferent relationship with Sanjay Bansali. It used to be love and appreciation, but over a period of time, I think his expectation of me was not something that I was matching up to. And today, I just think he's gone into a space of negativity and darkness. And I'm sorry, I have no space because I'm all about light and sunshine. He's, according to me, an immensely talented man, but I just don't want to deal with him anymore. It's as simple as that.
You're a jack of all trades, Karan.
You've
thanks.
Been a director. Meaning I'm a master of none.
No, that's not true.
I love the way you actually, in your own way, have just completely criticized me on this show.
Director, designer, talk show host, dance show judge, and now even an actor. Where does all this enthusiasm come from?
I like it. I am unabashedly and unapologetically excited to be in the movie business and the show business. I get really afraid when I see people who are who've lost the sheen and are relegated to nostalgia, and I look at them with a lot of fear. That I don't want to be famous but be alone. I will be that book on a shelf, and I will be that anecdote or article in an archive. I get very scared of being a memory. And that's why you asked me why I adapt. I adapt because I want to be here as long as I can be. So if you want to hang out with youngsters to feel young, then so be it. If you want to change your mode of cinema, if you want to kind of change your way of functioning to adapt with the times, then of course I want.
What about your strong views and opinions that may not change with the changing times?
No, my views change. I adapt very easily.
And that doesn't frighten you that you'd be not known as any one kind of a person, and that
as long as I'm in the thick of things at all times, I am not at all bothered about what my views are and what my thoughts are, and they can all change. I am not carving anything in stone because I've realized there's no point. I'm not an activist. I'm a celebrity. And there's a big difference between the two.
So are you saying that celebrities don't need to have a strong opinion on anything?
Even if they do, they're very malleable and ductile. Go down the archives of any movie celebrity. What they have said 10 years later and what they've done 10 years later are totally different things. So I don't want to kind of hold anything. I don't want to hold myself to ransom. Why should I make a sweeping statement? You, in your research, you told me that apparently I said that kill me the next time I make a dancing, singing film. And I did just that. That's what celebrities are about.
You did try to shift gears because you did make My Name is Khan.
But then I got bored. No? I came back to the most popcorny type of film, Student of the Year. At the end of the day, I mean, I changed my ethos, right? I changed my way of thinking. And most celebrities are like that. Who really says what they believe?
Oh, you don't think anybody says what they believe?
Not
You
in this
don't?
zone. I mean, I don't definitely. I talk nonsense half the time. I'm talking all nonsense because it's sufficing the purpose at that point of time. I'm saying what is expected of me. But do I mean it? I don't know. Today, possibly, I'm saying a lot more honest things because it's you. But if you were Barkhadat, I would not be saying this. Why would I?
So you've been known as the king of romance or love, the way you projected in your earlier films. What has changed about love in your own head?
My cinematic approach to love is a definite reflection of my internal thought. And my thought is a bit cynical about like immortal love. Because while I believe I have the capacity to love eternally and forever, I'm not sure that the world is ready for that emotion anymore.
Even within the film industry, we see so many relationships that are breaking and being made.
Within the film
that the
industry, everywhere in
reason?
the world. I mean, you know,
But there are also people who have managed to survive infidelity. There are lots of couples who have survived a lot of stuff.
No one is surviving.
And managed to, no one is surviving.
No one is surviving. The ones who are surviving it don't have opportunities. If they're living in Leh or Ladakh where they don't meet people at all, then they are faithful to each other. In a concrete jungle where there's opportunity, there's infidelity. It's as simple as that. I think things have just changed.
Yeah, you have changed quite a bit because I think there is a definite cynicism that has crept into you about relationships.
I have not yet witnessed one complete happy, and if I feel a couple are completely in sync with each other, completely in love and are displaying PDA at every given point of time, there's definitely one of them is gay or one of them is just not functional. I don't know. I don't know. I look at it with a lot of like doubt and like worry at times.
So Karan, OLX.in is a site on which you can sell anything that you wish for. So we are giving our viewers a chance to own something that you owned before. What have you got for us?
Perspective.
Apart from that, something material.
Oh, okay. You're so material, Niranjan. Well, I got you this jacket, which is one of my favorite jackets. I wore this on the opening episode of my show, which was in conversation with Salman. It's burgundy and it's a Giorgio Armani. It's a very expensive jacket.
Yes, it is.
And it's velvet, and I'm always in velvet because I like sofas.
So here's a pen. You'll have to write a message for the person who's going to buy it. Here.
Okay.
Let me take the jacket.
Yeah. Handle it carefully, Niranjan. It's
Yes,
expensive.
I will. So now we'll sell this jacket on OLX.in and the viewers can buy it on the site. Thank you, Karan. That was really lovely. Karan, we've done this on several drunken nights, but we're going to do this on camera today.
What?
Which is a selfie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Got me
This
worried
is what I call the Medimix look who's talking selfie moment.
Oh, lovely.
Снова на танцполе, музыка играет, нет свободных мест, их волною накрывает. Я смотрю в глаза, многим нравится стесняться.
Hey, I'm Niranjan.
Этой ночью вместе.
I don't have to tell them who I am.
You have to say that. Hey, I'm Niranjan.
Hey, I'm famous. This pen doesn't work. Of course it does. Is this also, don't put this on that OLX. It doesn't work, but
It's working.
But how? It doesn't work.
This is for putting up with all my torture.
How original, that's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, shut up.